5 years from now, you guys might think this is a cute idea and something that's a really cool idea and something that you see some value in. I put a bet on it that this is going to be the standard. Every software company that survives that is going to be standing in 5 to 10 years is going to have something of this equivalence. And every dumpster business that is wanting to compete is going to be using something like this. Because even for our own company, what the first epiphany you have is that, wow, this is saving me so much time. Then you use it long enough that output becomes the baseline, and then that's the standard now. It's just this kind of output that you have with AI.
The evolution of route optimization is going to be adapted.
Routes won't just be optimized before drivers leave the yard. They'll basically continuously adapt throughout the day, responding to anything that could go wrong or anything that could go right. So whether it be a blown tire or you get there early, it'll basically watch that and be like, hey, you got there earlier than expected. Here's an even more optimized route because it changes the game. Instead of you having to call back or do the math yourself, it just adapts on the spot.
I've used all the different AI language models out there. I feel like I'm pretty proficient with it, but when I use y'all's that's already connected with, again, my iCANS, it's a lot different than me having to try to copy and paste or, explain to another language model, another AI what my business is all about when I've already got something that's already there. It's more, it's just knows everything about my business internally.
The easiest way to put it is that the new guy basically just interacts with your iCANS data. If there's anything manually that you need to do through your iCANS, you could basically just ask the new guy to do it, just like if you're asking ChatGPT to do something or Claude to do something, and he's going to go into your iCANS software and he's going to do it for you, whether it's updating your prices. Say you just got an email from a new customer, you could copy that email, paste it into the new guy, and he'll create that new invoice for you and get it ready to send out. So anything that you're just tired of manually doing, new guy can do it for you.
What is going on YouTube and everywhere else? We're going to play this. My name is Josh with American AF Dumpsters, and I've got some pretty cool guys here that are coming back to the channel, and then one new guy that's new to the channel. I think he's somewhere down there. I don't know where to point anymore, but Magnate, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what up, man?
Hey, and that's two new guys. We got two new guys.
Two new guys.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a quick second. But we got Jack, David, and Gavin. What's going on? So, welcome to the channel.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having us on again.
I see we're all wearing nice little Dumpster Expo hats, but what happened, Gavin?
You got lost in the mail.
Hey, that's on the shipper, I guess. Better put in that insurance.
Better start by the merch booth.
There you go. Stop at the merch booth at the Dumpster Expo in September. We'll definitely get you one. I got you squared away. Cool. So we are here to talk about something that you guys have been working on. You guys want to do like a quick little intro on it and we can get started?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. So yeah, we wanted to come on here today because we know American AF Dumpsters, this YouTube channel, is just a great spot to just make announcements, kind of set the narrative for different things coming up in the dumpster industry, just with the type of audience that we have here. So we wanted to talk about our new AI product that we've got. It's called the New Guy. And the New Guy, just to kind of really boil it down simple for everybody, is the New Guy is basically an AI agent interface that integrates with your iCANS software, and it allows you to kind of step away from just the what we've been doing for the past 20 years of manual input on software, and instead allows you to kind of, I wouldn't say hands-free run your software, but more conversationally. And maybe, Gavin, maybe you can kind of boil that down a little bit smarter than I can, because I know that you've got an IQ about, 50 points higher than mine. So if you could boil that down to just something simple, because it is such a new thing that when we're asked to define it, sometimes it is hard to spit out, because it's a one of one. It doesn't exist yet.
Well, I guess the tagline kind of explains it a bit. So basically bridging the gap between software and AI. So Gavin's been crushing it out. He's basically taken lead on this whole project. Real smart guy, and you guys are in for a real treat. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I guess we should probably do that first before we talk about the cool new guy. We'll talk about the nerd new guy. David, can you kind of just elaborate on where we found Gavin? Because I remember that day we were sitting, because Magnate's a small team, and we rely on AI so much that, or not rely on it, but we've leaned into it so much that we don't really have a need to have a huge overseas team or tons of employees. But we knew we needed somebody to kind of get into the future, to go way deeper than we could, because we're so busy with fulfillment, making websites, doing Google Ads, and all that stuff. But we really wanted to get into the AI game. So I remember David was talking about what was that event called, David, at the college
Yeah,
there?
yeah. So about what, a year and a half ago, there's this university out here in my town that has this. It's called Merced to Market event. But essentially, they invite all the entrepreneurs for the UC and our city to basically come out and network and just talk about what they're building and what they're doing. Um, I almost didn't make it to the event because I was up till about 3 in the morning. But I don't know, something told me to go because we were going to meet somebody, or find something that was going to help us propel to the next level. And we actually stumbled upon Gavin there. So I remember going there. Gavin was actually pitching a new product that he had built. It was like a Shark Tank kind of for the entrepreneurs there, and it was called your coffee news?
Coffee news, yeah, yeah.
Coffee News, Coffee News. So it was like a political AI app that he had built that basically dumbs down the bills for you and makes it really easy to consume. And there's a lot more to it, but he ended up winning it. We chatted for a bit, and then the rest is history.
Now that I think about it, Gavin, we should get you to work on, help Josh with the franchise agreements in town, and you can break down those bills and all that legislation for all the other dumpster guys and just the regular consumers that are getting screwed on that. But yeah, Gavin was a good pickup. I remember telling David that, dude, because David didn't want to go. He'd been up all night working, and I was like, bro, just go. We never leave our nerd cave. We have to go out. We have to network, and you're gonna find
That's
somebody or
right.
some opportunity that's really going to change Magnate forever. And not only is it going to change Magnate forever, but Gavin is going to change the dumpster industry forever. And what he's really going to change is how the regular guy, the regular operator, from startups to the biggest companies on the planet, run their software. So that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about the new guy. Gavin's the perfect guy to build it. He's our new guy, and now he's bringing you guys your new guy. So yeah, let's start to break it down, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe I should just share my screen first, just to just get some visuals going on.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
you could tell us a little bit about yourself too, Gavin. Like, like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
attracted you to this space, and like I know, like when I
Yeah.
first was speaking to you, you didn't even really know about the dumpster industry, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
yeah,
No, that I mean, obviously at college I was pursuing computer science. That was my degree. And before I met David, before I met Josh, I didn't even know there was, like you said, industry revolving around dumpster rentals. When I think tech, you think the coolest, stuff on the blocks, social networking, NVIDIA, I mean, crazy stuff. Um, but the more, after a year or more in this industry, I've come to fall in love with it because of the impact it has. Other industries, it's kind of very speculative. It's like, hey, this might change the world, it might do something, it might do that. Dumpster rentals, the reason I love this software industry the most is because you get to see the results in real time. And being able to influence that software and influence this industry to make all that difference is just very rewarding, I would say. It yields the best rewards. And I wouldn't want it any other way. It's been awesome. It's been a great journey. And I've learned so much from this space and want to continue to keep learning because it's awesome. 100%.
I know we've had plenty of conversations, throughout the years. I mean, honestly, we've known each other for quite a long time now. We talk a lot, and so we've talked a lot about like the future of the industry and the future of software and the future of what's next, right? AI is huge, but we've had this exact conversations before where we say, hey, look, honestly, it seems like software is kind of dead, right? Software is kind of a dying thing. Like a company that provides software uh, in today's day and age, in second half of 2026 now, we're talking a lot of people are kind of making their own softwares or doing their own things. So like, how is that wrong, and how is it not actually dying? Like, what is it that you guys are going to offer? What is it that you guys are offering that can change the game?
Yeah. So, you know, Magnate relies on software. You know, we don't want software to die. So when we heard, you know, when we see the big tech giants, you got Elon Musk and you got Naval and you've got all these different billionaires that are, you know, seeing into the future and saying that software is already dead. Well, there's a transition to death with anything. So it's not something that's going to die overnight. And when we were looking, you know, we're partnered with iCANS, and we love iCANS. We partnered with them last year, January 2025. We knew that they were working on some stuff in regards to AI, but we really we want iCANS to survive because, you know, iCANS is a big relationship that we have. So we were thinking, you know, what are David and I good at? Well, we're good as auxiliary support, as an auxiliary support company. That's what we always called ourselves, anyways. We embed ourselves within a company, and then we see what the opportunities are. And one thing that we noticed was that, you know, they're busy developing software, right? I know they're working on AI products, but what do we have? We have Gavin and almost unlimited bandwidth to bring iCANS and its users into the future. So when I hear that software is dead, I just know that's not true because it's still here. There's iCANS right there. There's all the legacy companies still operating right now. What's going to kill them is if they don't adopt AI. If they don't adopt AI and they don't start bringing AI to giving the power of AI to the users. So we wanted to kind of help iCANS get on the fast track to having that ability. But yeah, I don't see software as being dead. I see software as being the egg of whatever the future is. So software is the embryo, and you know the AI is the, you know, the swimmer. So so that's kind of how I see it. And I know it's funny, but that's what it seems like is that at one point all we knew was the existence of the egg. So we go, there's the egg. That's as good as it gets. Nah, brother, you can create a human out of that egg. So that's basically what we're doing is our AI is the fertilizer to iCANS. So iCANS is the database of all the code and everything, and it, the new guy is what really is going to bring it to life and make it kind of a living being that can operate on its own. And maybe Gavin can make a way smarter, less overzealous description of that. But yeah, Gavin, what's your opinion? Why do you think software is dead?
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the spot. And I think, you know, in this crazy era of artificial intelligence, people throw a lot of buzzwords around, you know? But I think where AI is going to shine the most in this industry and where it's going to not die, but evolve is really going for that, building a software that gives you outcomes, you know? Artificial intelligence and ChatGPT and all these stuff by itself can be relatively useless if not utilized to its full ability. And specifically in this industry, being able to tune it to the desired outcomes that we want, whether it be better dumpster utilization, watching our financials in regards to customer retention. A lot of these areas that beforehand would be a nightmare to monitor manually. But now, with the power of AI, being able to just automate a lot of these repetitive and, you know, blind spots that we might miss, I think that's going to be a really big evolution of software.
So, what exactly is the new guy? Other than we know Gavin's a new guy, but you said there's two new guys. So tell us exactly what is the new guy? What does it do for me as a business operator? Because at the end of the day, that's what I care about. That's what the guys watching this channel care about.
The new guy is a new software we've been building I think started like 2 months ago. We've made so much progress already. Couldn't have done it more so without a lot of the help of users in the industry, big time. But essentially what it is it allows you to be able to natural language wise chat, for sake of a better word, chat with your iCANS data. Be able to, instead of having to click through a billion settings or doing the math yourself, you can simply just ask it as you would another human, and it can intelligently map out all of your iCANN stuff and be able to get the outcome you need, whether it be updating pricing or getting you a zip file of all your invoices in a batch. It can basically, it basically breaks down that barrier of technical know-how to simply just chat with your data, for sake of a better word.
Easiest way to put it is that the new guy basically just interacts with your iCANS data. If there's anything manually that you need to do through your iCANS, you could basically just ask the new guy to do it. Just like if you're asking ChatGPT to do something or Claude to do something, and he's going to go into your iCANS software and he's going to do it for you, whether it's updating your prices. Say you just got an email from a new customer. You could copy that email, paste it into the new guy, and he'll create that new invoice for you and get it ready to send out. So anything that you're just tired of manually doing, new guy could do it for you.
So here we are on our little new guy dashboard, and I'll start off with our chat capabilities just to show off, what it can do. So, for instance, right here I have a chat going on where I was like, hey, I need to get all my invoices for the month into a zip file. And it was able to just go ahead, go through my iCANS data, find that data I was looking for, and give it to me, nice and formatted. Go ahead and, download this. I can even open it up. Yeah, all my invoices are here for me to review. Very nice. Another big thing is being able to just simply ask questions like, hey, which clients are overdue? This was a test run, but as you can see, Mr. Test over here owes me $483. He's 514 days overdue. He probably is committing fraud. I should probably go check on that. But another big thing also beyond just being able to receive data is being able to modify data. So here I have something going on with hey, I want to be able to update my pricing, and I actually have my pricing open right here so you guys can see the difference. And I will go ahead and refresh so you see it's up to date. So in my Merced area for this 15-yard, I got 473, 459, whatnot. And I want to say, hey, I want to raise my Merced drop-off prices for my 15-yard by like $20. And the great thing about what the new guy does, because AI in this era, can make mistakes, in order to gate against that, any action that could modify your iCANS data in any way waits for your approval first. So even though it's telling me what it's going to do, it didn't modify that data, and I get the final say so. I get to review it. I get to be like, hey, this is not what I wanted, or yeah, it is what I wanted. So I go ahead and check this guy right here. For something I want to do by $20 each, looks good to me. I'll go ahead and apply those changes. And it'll just take just a second. Change applied. And let's just, once again, look at our prices again. That's how it was before. If I refresh, yeah, you can see the prices did update. So now it's $493, $479. And it's basically being able to take all these repetitive tasks, these manual tasks, and being able to just update that on the fly by just me asking it. It shouldn't require much thought where I have to plan it out. It just does it. I think that's the best part about it. Another great thing we have is what we call persistence analytics, where I could go ahead and all these, analytical widgets here, these graphs, these bars, everything you see here, I simply just chatted it into existence. I wanted to know about who were my repeat, some stats about my repeat versus unique clients. So I just asked the new guy, hey, I need a graph showing me about this. And it generated that. And the great thing about this is that this data is live. So as I refresh it, as I grow out the day, this data will always persist and always show me the new updated thing. Whether I chatted this into existence 6 months ago, it'll stay updated and persistent. For here, I wanted to ask, hey, new guy, how much am I losing from cancellations? And it was able to create a widget just for that stays updated, up to date all the time. And so, yeah, those are some of the capabilities of what you can chat into existence, being able to just modify your data, get some information about it, or even create, analytics like this. But our biggest point here is being able to do route optimization. So if I actually go here, and you know what? I'll go ahead and just optimize my route. So before you start, you get your nice little map here. You get to see your starting inventory. You have what I have. We'll just go ahead and just optimize this. Select my drivers. I don't want to include metro signals, perhaps. Just want to include everyone else. And optimize. And just give it a bit. All 13 stops scheduled. And what it's doing here is, yeah, right here, tells me how many miles were optimized, split between my drivers, my estimated fuel costs, and that's factored in when I defined, my MPG or however what my diesel costs here in my specific locality, things like that. And it even gets me information on my landfills. And then boom, I have a route here that has been optimized. And I get to see on my left panel split between drivers right here, their optimized routes. And how this works is what we learned is being able to take a bunch of these factors in the real world and give it to the system to work with, right? Because often, nothing is perfect. So here it's factoring in, my truck fleets. I was able to define my trucks, and I can go here like, hey, I have these trucks, but these specific trucks can only work with 10, 15, and 20 yards. These other trucks require different yards. It factors in material acceptances based on landfills. So for example, Ryan Codwell here, I had a dumping return for construction debris, and landfill A does accept construction debris, but other landfills that might not accept it, even if I had a landfill next to it, it wouldn't route it there because it just makes no sense. It can't accept it. It factors in between those landfills, hey, which one have the cheaper dump fees? Which one? It's basically just taking this conglomerate of information and just packaging it nice and tightly for you to be able to get the final review and have a nice route schedulized for the day. There's still so much to modify and update with it, but yeah, it's really getting there, and super excited for the future. And you know what? For a little bonus, we'll have even a little truck animation so you can see how things are going. My little fellow there. It just gets you a little update. So that was a dumping return, I think, right there. But yeah, that's how the new guy is so far. So far, we got our initial version of route optimization, and being able to just simply chat into existence whatever you need modified from your iCANS data, whatever you need fetched from your iCANS data, and if you ever need to get an overview of how the day's going, being able to just fetch from your graphs and just chat these into existence. I think that's the best way to explain it. Just being able to chat what you want into existence instead of having to do the work yourself.
That's pretty cool. So first of all, it actually looks like you're in my town. First of all, so I'm a little offended. You didn't ask for permission to come into my area, and so I'm gonna get my fee from you guys, my franchise fee. No.
Yeah, I know, right?
Phenomenal. So a couple things I have. I know a lot of guys are watching are going to ask the same thing. So if I have a software already, shouldn't my software do all of this? I know you talked about it a little bit, Jack, but like the reporting and stuff like that. Like, why do I need special reporting? Why do I need to talk to an AI to pull a report that, let's say, I feel like I need for my business? Shouldn't my software already have like 552 different reports that I could choose from, already?
Yeah, I think with that, yeah, when we talked with other clients, it was like, hey, I have these reports already. Let me just, I can just download it from iCANS or whatnot. Where I think the new guy can shine the most is perhaps not so much in being able to just fetch those reports, but being able to be smart enough to make decisions based on that data. So for instance, if I go ahead and ask something about, I know Josh, you said in the past you asked something about dumpster utilization and it made some suggestions based on that. So I was like, hey, um, what is my dumpster utilization? Where am I slacking? And do you recommend I purchase any new yards? So I would say the new guy's strength is definitely not in being able to just modify, or well, definitely modify, but being able to not just retrieve those reports. But I think where the positioning is and where the future of it, as we talk about soon, will be, is being able to be smart enough, because it is essentially an AI, to review this data on your behalf and say, hey, I'm noticing this, this, and this. You should be making these calls and these decisions. Maybe you should update this pricing because you're having, a lack of demand here, or these 10 yards you have are underutilized. You haven't used them in the last year. Perhaps you should sell them. I think its strength is definitely in decision making, 100%.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's speed of decision making too. Like you're able to get this data so quick when in the past you would be waiting days or hours for it. It's just the speed to retain getting all this knowledge and to be able to make those decisions a lot sooner than just sitting on your hands, essentially.
I
yeah.
think I
So
think I
here,
asked
for
that question.
example,
I'm sorry, I missed that. I think I asked that question only because I've been through. I've had softwares. I'm not talking about any other softwares or knocking anybody, but I've had in different industries. I've had softwares that just try to be too much for too many people, and like when you
Hmm.
go in there, it's definitely it's overwhelming because you're like, oh shoot, should I be pulling 552 reports? I mean, am I missing something, or or is does everybody run their business differently? And do I specifically need something for my business that Jack might not need, or David might not need over in California for his business, right? So I like the idea of being able to create my own custom widgets, like you mentioned earlier, Gavin, I believe, and my own custom based off of what I want. I don't want to see reports based off of what, a guy who's running dumpsters, porta potties, fencing, and weekly trash pickup, and front end loaders, and all this other stuff. I don't want to see those reports because I don't do that. That doesn't apply to me. So me personally,
right.
yeah, I did my utilization. It spit out to me that I needed to buy cans right away, and I'm like, as a business owner who's been in business for quite a while, yeah, I absolutely know that you get that gut feeling like, okay, there's no cans in the yard for 3 months. Like that's not even a gut feeling. That's like a hey, idiot, like go buy more cans. But when you base your decisions off not just your gut feeling as a business owner, but off of the data, that's what makes something like this worth it, in my opinion.
Yep.
Right, right. No, you definitely, I think you said it perfectly. It's, I think that ties in with the trend we've seen with others, is that bridging into that personalization. You know, um, a one size fits all software that has, like you said, 54 or 100 reports, it can't please everyone, right? They have to some point, have some kind of standard of generalization to be like, would most people want this? But every business in this industry is unique in how they run and how they operate and their needs and their quirks. And I think, yeah, that's definitely where the power of the new guy can shine and will shine, and being able to adapt to those circumstances rather than forcing you to fit yourself into a shoe that may not fit for you 100%.
So what I kind of want to express is that the current capabilities right now is that it's conversational AI, but I want Gavin to his epiphanies that he had after one-on-one meetings with our clients, where he realized that the new vision for the new guy is going to basically be a completely automated system. So right now it's kind of a hybrid between conversational, and it can do things for you, but it's not completely automated yet. But that's where it's going. So I kind of wanted to get Gavin to talk about how the success of Beta 1 that was released on June 5th, and then kind of just talk about that experience, Gavin, what you learned through the beta phase with all these users. We've got about 30 users right now.
So definitely the first initial beta phase was phenomenal. The users we had, the dumpster rental owners, they were phenomenal, and being able to explain, what they needed, what they liked, what didn't work. Is that honesty that goes a long way in that feedback, because it helps us build a better product that's not disconnected from reality of what people in this industry actually need. Um, for some of the best things, it's definitely helped them. People have talked about, hey, it helped caught pricing typos. When I was trying to update my pricing, it was like, hey, this thing looks out of place. You have 58 versus $60. Do you want to update that? It fixed things like that. For others, it cut time back on being able to collect reports and information on files rather than them having to manually review it. Um, and some of the real optimization itself will a lot of the great feedback we got from that end was, really modifying it to not also be a one size fits all example. Because in this industry, just like with the chatting has its quirks and stuff like that, on the ground when you're actually playing those dispatching those routes and whatnot, um, things change on the ground. Uh, People have certain needs. People have, like, for example, I know Josh brought up a really good example with truck fleets, and I was like, hey, um, certain trucks require, different, support different asset links, or I have different, yards that take on different heavy duty versus light, and I need to account for all of that. And being able to just talk one on one personally with these users open up the door for how we can personalize this product even more, and how we can really shift it from something generic to something that really can be almost like a person, almost like a new guy that you can rely on your day-to-day tasks instead of having to babysit it. And that's been, amazing from that initial beta where they shaped it um, through those conversations. I couldn't have done it without them 100%. Yeah.
Like our ultimate vision for the new guy really is to create just a system that runs on its own, right? Because that's what it would be if you had a real employee, right? They would get to work, they would clock in, they would get on their computer, and they would get started working with the data they have available. They check their emails, they check their leads list, they checked who booked, and then they would, you'd form the route for the day and send out the drivers, and typically it would run on autopilot. We used to have to rely on humans for that. But now with the new guy, we're hoping that we can basically create an employee for you that will sit in your office, but inside your computer, inside the software, and do anything that you would need it to do that you would need a regular person to do. We got this idea because David and I were both air crewmen in the Navy. We tracked submarines. So I was a radar and camera operator. David was an acoustic operator, and the system that we used was a tactical display system, right? So when we got onto the plane, everybody on the plane, whether it was the pilots or the navigator or the mission commander or even us, enlisted scum running the radar and listening for submarines, we all used the same computer, right? They all look like the same computer. We sat on what was called a rail. So just imagine like a big desk, and there's seats all down the desk, and everyone's got their own specific station. While we all had unique jobs, we all use the same computer screen. So all of the functionalities that David had available to him were also available to me, but I would avoid those and only use the ones that work for me. But mainly what this was a system that allowed for, operational and situational awareness for everybody on the team, and it standardized it. So that's what we want to bring to guys is not only just the ability, like iCANS and all these software, that's great. You can run your dumpster business, but how conversational can you be with that data? How big of a picture can you see? How basically, help me out here, David or Gavin, like, what am I
Yeah.
trying to express?
Tying into what you said and to what these users wanted, the pivot and the future of how the new guy is going to evolve, I could break down to a few major points. First and foremost, definitely the integration of, I'm sure you heard the word of AI agents, autonomous AI agents. So right now, right, you have to initialize the conversation. You have to be the one to come up with something first. In the near future of actually what we're building on right now to release soon, is instead of waiting for you to ask questions, specialized AI agents, almost like mini new guys themselves, will continuously monitor areas such as pricing, financial performance, routing, basically watching for these triggers on your data. Um, and they'll basically identify opportunities and recommend actions for you to review. So by the time you wake up for the next day on your feed, I'm thinking right here on the right side, you'll already see a list of updates of like, hey, um, these are the things we want. These are the things these AI agents found in regards to maybe updating pricing or reviewing this route that you came up with because we have a better opportunity, we have a better decision. And of course, this transitions the user of this software from someone who has to actively, engage with it to someone who monitors the situation, who becomes basically, as they should be, the head honcho who gets the final say while these employees do the work for you. Um, and that ties into route optimization too. Right now, route optimization is at the start of the day, right? It starts off at what time I start? 4:30. Yikes! I don't actually wake up that early. That's a lie. But as we know, right? You could plan, but Murphy's Law, whatever could go wrong, will go wrong. Whatever happens on the actual route itself, maybe a truck blows it. And these are real stories customers have told us. Maybe a truck blows a tire, you get over to the customer, the gate code's not working. Maybe that landfill is too blocked up than what initially the traffic said beforehand. And even good things, like maybe you got there earlier than expected and whatnot. The evolution of route optimization is going to be adaptive.
Routes won't just be optimized before drivers leave the yard. They'll basically continuously adapt throughout the day, responding to anything that could go wrong or anything that could go right. So whether it be a blown tire or you get there early, it'll basically watch that and be like, hey, you got there earlier than expected. Here's an even more optimized route because it changes the game. And basically, instead of you having to call back or do the math yourself, it just adapts on the spot. I think it's going to be a big major point. In regards to that, also what customers really wanted was memory. Right now, you chat with a new guy, you get what you talk about. But as we were discussing earlier, every business has their quirks. They have their own unique edge cases. Maybe I have a son who's also driving for me. I don't want him to go down narrow routes or handle, really commercial tasks or whatever edge case you have. And I think that's where AI can really make a difference. Being able to adapt and personalize to your specific business edge cases or personal edge cases that bleed into the business. And so when you make decisions or our agents make decisions on your behalf, it factors in from the past what you wanted to memorize, what you want to specifically know about how you run your operation. It shouldn't be a generalized AI agent that just runs on a standard path. It should think about first, hey, what does Josh need first? What are his edge cases? What is something I need to factor in before I make this business decision or operational decision on his behalf? Another big aspect that we definitely want to integrate is QuickBooks. I know a lot of our users use it. A lot of the people in the industry rely on it. It's an amazing software. And just like iCANS, I too believe it can be automated. It could be made simple where you can simply just chat with it, have a conversation with it instead of you having to go manually through it yourself. We want to build this software to really reflect the real world, be there on the ground. And where that comes from is we're actually working on new software to be able to predict real-time landfill wait times. Google could tell you, hey, or you could call the landfill, hey, at 6 p.m. today, is the wait time going to be 35 minutes? And you get there, it turns out to be 60 minutes, an hour, and that blows off steam, that blows off the optimization. As we get more people on board and you yourself help shape the optimizer, it will learn from your past routes and say, hey, on average in this area, for example, let's see, landfill D, on average, typically around Mondays in the afternoon, it's actually not a 35-minute wait. On average, it typically happens to be a 45-minute wait. And even those little discrepancies can make all the difference. and then be able to make better decisions. It's basically just a data game, if you will, that we want to personalize this AI, just like Jack said, that runs on its own. You get the final say, um, and uses your personalized data that you give it and you have final say so over to make the best optimal decisions that reflect your needs and your desires, um, all the more. And I think that's the path the new guy is going to take. That's what people have told us that they need, and that's what we're building today.
All right, so I've got a couple questions I wrote down. So, David, I've got one for you, man. So, all right, we all know this industry is straight blue collar. Lots of old school guys in this industry who, I mean, there's a heck of a lot of companies that I think don't even use software to begin with and still use pen, paper, and a whiteboard. But what do you say for the blue collar guys who are like, I don't use AI. AI is the devil, and it's not for me and my business. What do you say for those guys, or what do you say for the guys that are like, I've never used AI before. I'm kind of intimidated to use a software, and I'm also worried about it connecting to my software, connecting to my revenue, or knowing all about my business like that.
That's something that when we went into this, that was like a very big priority. And I know Gavin, went up to Stanford for a couple of months, and cybersecurity, making sure that all your data and everything that you give us is, safe, and it's encapsulated into this harness that it's just, we want to ensure the utmost security, because that's just something that bleeds over from when we were in the military. Security is everything. We don't want to bleed that data over, or that information over. So that was always the biggest priority into building this product. And then for the guys that haven't adapted yet, I mean, to each is their own. There are people out there that can operate without software, and they just have it fine tuned. But is it the most efficient way to operate? Maybe, maybe not. But you know, it's just the AI is just so powerful. It is such a huge multiplier, and it has been for our business alone that we want to be the guys that kind of help the guys that haven't fully adapt. Start to. We want to make it easy for the blue collar guys to kind of get into AI, and that's kind of. We really wanted to make this a very user friendly product for the blue collar niche, and that's kind of how we've envisioned Gavin, designing this.
It's not gonna make your phone ring more. It's not gonna go out and deliver dumpsters for you. It's a tool in your tool belt for you to be more successful and for you to be to partner with or pair with your software iCANS in order to make your day a lot easier, in my opinion, and kind of again be that second person, that new guy, that assistant in your business that kind of knows your business inside and out as far as the internals of it, and can um, you know reinforce that gut feeling that you may have of a lot of different things. You're routing. A lot of us know routing. We can say, okay, this is what I got tomorrow. You're looking at the schedule like, all right, this is the best way to do it, right? I can do that now. I know Alexis can do that now. She can look at a schedule for the most part, and she can be like, okay, this is what's up. This is what needs to go in what order. But then we plug it into the new guy, and then it spits something else out, and it's like, oh shit. Well, it's not. That's a pretty good idea. Like, it's not. Let me do that instead, because that's going to save me, 35 minutes or something like that, and it's going to save me $15 in fuel and who knows how much in labor, right? So, hands down, I've been impressed with it, and I'm not a huge. I mean, I love it. I wish I was a lot more AI than I am already, but I feel like I've made a lot of tools. I've used all the different AI language models out there. I feel like I'm pretty proficient with it, but when I use y'all's that's already connected with, again, my iCANs, it's a lot different than me having to try to copy and paste, or explain to another language model, another AI what my business is all about, when I've already got something that's already there. It's just knows everything about my business
Yeah.
internally. So
it has all that context, and that's like the
Yep.
big thing with AI is context, and that's what makes this tool so powerful is you don't need to sit there and prime up your chat or your Claude or whatever AI you're using, because it already is connected. It already has that context window built into it. And then also you mentioned something about like, it's not going to, make you money or drive revenue yet. But like Gavin
Well,
said earlier, we're building AI agents. So that could possibly be something down the pipeline to where there are marketing agents that you can integrate into the new guy basically to work on your behalf.
And just for context, I meant more like physically go out and like deliver
Oh
the
yeah, no,
dumpster. I just meant it's not like that. I mean,
yeah,
obviously you
yeah.
can make money off of it if you listen to it properly, right? And you listen to its suggestions for the most part. Hopefully, right now, like I said, I order more cans and hopefully I make more money because I have data that proves that I need to order more dumpsters. That my utilization rate is high enough to where if I buy more dumpsters, I can feel comfortable that God willing and everything goes as planned, everything will stay the same, if not, and continue to go up. So
what we want to do is the main reason for us coming on the podcast today is we just want people to know that the new guy exists, right? That's number one. That we've got 30 users, all of the internal iCANS users that are on the Facebook pages and stuff. They know about the new guy, but we kind of wanted the broader network of dumpster business owners, whether you're a small guy or a guy with hundreds of dumpsters, to know about the new guy and know that the future is coming. And 5 years from now, you guys might think this is a cute idea and something that's a really cool idea and something that you see some value in. But I put I put a bet on it that this is going to be the standard. Every software company that survives that is going to be standing in 5 to 10 years is going to have something of this equivalence. And every dumpster business that is, wanting to compete is going to be using something like this. Because even for our own company, what the first epiphany you have is that, wow, this is saving me so much time. Then you use it long enough that that output becomes the baseline, and then that's the standard now. Is just this kind of output that you have with AI. Before, it might have taken you, 3 hours to get through all of your manual efforts for the day. Well, now maybe it only takes you 30 to 45 minutes. Well, you can either sit on your hands with that extra time, or you can reallocate that extra time that you've just given yourself to do other activities that do drive the needle in the business. So I'm just I want everyone to make clear that this is going to save you time, but in the long run, it's just going to set the new standard for output, to where if you don't have a system like this and your competitor does, they're not worried about dispatching. They're not worried about changing prices. They're not worried about their employee not coming to work today and doing the proper dispatching. They're not worried about it because they've got a completely automated system that does it for them. Like I said, that's what happens to our business. We, us, the dumpster industry was a completely underserved market. There were some big guys out there that had web development companies, Google Ads, SEO, and a lot of them that we worked for in the very beginning. And when we talked about AI, they scoffed at it. They thought it was ridiculous. They thought that AI was cheating, that it was slop. And they would preach about, creating these overseas teams to protect your margins, because historically web development didn't have great margins, because if you wanted to have an American-based team, well, people want to make American money. So what a lot of these companies do is they outsource out to overseas, India, Thailand, and that's great. There's great people over there, extremely talented, but it's no longer needed. And after just 4 short years, we can see our company. And I woke up one day and we're basically, one of the number one companies, if not the number one web development company. It's because we leaned into AI early. David and I were a 2-person company for 4 years before we hired anybody. So what's that tell you? That we were doing the same output, if not more, than some of those big companies. So my point is today is what I want to do is I want to encourage all dumpster guys to start considering the use of AI agents or AI period with their dumpster business. And then for iCANS users specifically, I want you guys to we'll probably have a link below, or if you could visit our website too, magnateproseo.com. We'll make sure that you guys have the resources to get this. But we want you to sign up for beta round 2. So we've already done the beta test round 1, where we got 30 users testing the platform. It's been an amazing experience. They've really helped expedite the process of creating something actually useful for you guys. And now we want to go even harder, and we want to onboard. How many more people do we want to onboard, Gavin? Like 50? All right, so we're going to set a cap of 50. You can click down in the links below or go to our website. But on July 5th, the day after 4th of July, we're going to be releasing beta round 2. And we want that to be kind of our last beta before we go live. And when I say we go live, that doesn't mean that's a finished product. That doesn't mean we've built it and we're done. It's never going to be done. We're going to keep layering and layering and layering. And there's nothing more than I like than barriers, because every barrier I overcome, every hour that I spend on this product, the thousands of hours that I spend on this product, the bigger the gap gets. So my message to our competitors and to all of the software companies out there is that the new guy's coming, and you can either collaborate, compete, or fall behind, because that's what's going to happen. I'm going to make sure of it.
And with that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash the notification bell. No, you guys got any finishing other than Jack? That was.
Oh yeah. So I do want to do a couple of shout outs real quick. So number one is, I don't know when this video is going to be posted. I imagine it's going to be sometime next week. But from whenever the day that this is posted, David and I, we've been really pushing Google Ads hard. We use a lot of AI for doing Google Ads as well, because we can take all of the data that we've accumulated from the dozens of clients that we've run campaigns for. We've got a joke at Magnate that it's unfortunate, but the next guy always has the better campaign. The next guy always has the better website. The next guy always has the better SEO, because we do so much data analytics with the AI and stuff. So we're doing a special giveaway. It's not really a giveaway, but it's a really big discount. So historically, David and I, we charge $9.97 for Google Ads a month. We also have a $250 setup fee. If you guys take advantage of this offer within the next week, you can, if you do it within the first 48 hours of this video being posted, we'll onboard you with Google Ads, and you'll only pay the setup fee. So that's $250. And then there is no commitment, so you can cancel anytime before the next payment cycle. If you stay on with us, you'll keep our original pricing of $9.97 going forward, and again, cancel anytime. But if you miss the offer, you're just going to have to go with whatever our current pricing is on the site. So we wanted to give everybody the opportunity to get on Google Ads, because we know a lot of guys in this space have been burned, and that's because the dumpster industry historically has been an underserved market. You know, Gavin a year ago didn't even realize that a private citizen could own a dumpster company. I 4 years ago didn't realize a private citizen could own a dumpster company. So what happened is that there just wasn't a lot of support within the dumpster niche. So historically, you guys would have to rely on just a Google Ads expert or an SEO guy. But what about an SEO guy for just dumpster rental companies, or Google Ads for just dumpster rental companies? That's what we specialize in. We only work with dumpster rental companies. And if you got other businesses, we can help you with that too. But advertising wise, that's who we serve, and that's why we're on top right now. Is because that's all we do is focus on you guys and what you guys need specifically for the dumpster rental industry. So yeah, there's that Google Ads offer. Go to our website, click the links in the below, whatever available down there. And then the other thing I wanted to shout out Brad Neal with Brimley Site Services. Thanks a lot, man, for helping us promote the Dumpster Expo. Brad's an RC. He's a business owner. He owns Brimley Site Services in Weatherford. I believe it's Weatherford, Texas. But he's also an RC car fanatic. So when we figured out that Dumpster Expo was going to be at the Texas Motor Speedway, I kind of had this silly idea. I was like, hey, Brad, would you be able to make some cool cars? And maybe, David, could you share that screen real quick just so people know where to get them for right now?
Oh, yeah.
You know you're going to the Dumpster Expo, right? You all know you're going. So I'm going, Josh is going, David's going. If Gavin can make it, Gavin's going to go. The Dumpster Expo it's an amazing event. It's really the only event that you can sit down and have it's laid back. It's not like those corporate events where you've got to, put on a suit and tie and put on a facade. Here at the Dumpster Expo, you don't have to do that. And as you can see, we do some pretty cool stuff here. So here's the RC cars. Here, can you scroll left, David? So this is on Brimley Site Services. Can you say his URL, David, real quick, so people can?
BrimleySiteServices.com, and then at the top you'll see for Dumpster Expo cars, and then you go ahead and place your order through there. I think it's like a 30 to 60 day. They're doing delivery, or you could just pick it up at the event. But there's a couple different makes you could do. You could upload your logos. And these actually drive too. They're not just car models, but they actually. He says they're pretty quick. So
they're fast, like 22 miles an hour.
yeah. Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
were able to play with them. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and that's not AI. Those are real photos. That
Yeah.
Keystone, Rhino Solutions, American AF, iCANS, Magnate. We all supported Brad with this and wanted this to come to life. So we all got our own cars made. I can't wait to get my hands on them. David and I are gonna have to fight about who takes it home. But yeah, just know that those are available to you guys. They're really freaking cool. And just the Dumpster Expo period is really cool. And I want to be transparent, kind of about the history of Magnate and how much the Dumpster Expo has meant to us. 4 years ago, David, was it 4 years ago? When was the first event,
yeah.
Josh?
Yep, 4 years ago.
2022?
Yeah, about 4 years ago.
Yeah, holy crap. So 4 years ago, David and I were brand new entrepreneurs. We knew nothing about running a business, nothing. We just knew that we were brave enough to do it and delusional enough to believe that we'd be successful. So I remember one day we were just sitting in our office and the business just wasn't doing well. We didn't know how to sell. We didn't have any proof of work. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know anybody. And David had the idea that what if we go to the Dumpster Expo, that event, and it was a new event, and it was small at that time. As far as we knew, it was just going to be happening at the Keystone Yard, just right there in the parking lot. And we had no idea what to expect. And we looked at our bank account, and I think before we bought everything, we had maybe like $2,000. So David and I, we YOLO'd it, and we bought plane tickets. We bought the Airbnb. We bought the rental car, and Magnate's bank account was down to $300. This was kind of our last ditch effort to really meet people. I think we would have kept going, but in this universe, this is what happened. We went to the Dumpster Expo, and we met everybody who is now one of our best friends with the company. So Blake Gentry, Josh, Bram how do you say Bram's last name? Bram Chappell? Shamble? Yeah, so Chappelle, yeah. But yeah, we met Bram, we met we met Blake Gentry at Gentry Dumpsters, and we met everybody that was an early adopter of the Dumpster Expo. And a lot of those early adopters are some of the biggest dumpster companies that I know and work with today. That started off very small. I know Blake was Blake didn't even have a business yet. And that's where Blake met everybody. But Blake met us for his website and his SEO and his Google ads. He met you, Josh, and Keystone, helped him hook up with some dumpsters and trucks. And these stories, they just repeat themselves over and over and over again. Everyone who goes to the Dumpster Expo takes something away from it, including us. It's my favorite thing to do every year because, as you can see, I work out of my apartment. I work right here at my kitchen counter where I also eat my cereal. So I have to make an effort to get out there into the universe and actually shake hands and meet these guys firsthand, because it's made a world of difference to look your client in the eye and say, I'm Jack and I'm a real person and I'm not scared to meet you. Because a lot of web developers, they like to hide behind the computer. So, but anyways, I just wanted to make a quick endorsement for the Dumpster Expo. It's meant the world. I attribute almost all of our success to that first event. And every time we go to the event, man, we have so many bookings come in for websites and Google ads. And really, the network grows exponentially every single time. So if you're a vendor and you've been on the fence about going, just go. That's where your audience is. There isn't an event like it. Happens every year. And if you're a dumpster guy, whether you're the small guy or a mid-sized company or somebody that's been in the dumpster business forever and thinks they know everything, I can promise that you don't. And I can promise that you don't know anything because you didn't know about the new guy until about an hour ago. So there's lots to learn. There's lots of ways to evolve, and there's lots of good tips that you can learn from everybody. So highly encourage everyone to go.
Oh yeah, this expo is going to be awesome, man. There's just so much, and we're going to be heading the AI breakout session for the expo too. So we plan to definitely bring a lot of useful stuff for you guys to take away.
Well, what we really, by that point, because we want the new guy to go live public for everybody, every iCANS user out there in August. So that'll be 1 month before the event. That's our goal, is to go live by then, so that by the time we step into that breakout room there at the Dumpster Expo, that we don't have to stumble through the definitions of these things. We don't have to theorize about what it's capable of. we can tell you for sure what it's going to do for your business, how much time it's going to save you, and how to get started today at that moment. So it's gonna be awesome. We got a lot of good stuff that we're gonna give you guys. Magnate, we always bring the heat when we come to Dumpster Expo and spill all the beans. And no matter how much we spill all the beans, we still got a business. So I just want everyone to know that you can be transparent about what you offer, and give value to your customers and allow them the ability to succeed on their own. They'll attribute that success to you, and at some point you'll create a paradox and they'll come right back to you. So don't be afraid if you're on the Dumpster Expo to just share the value, give the value to the attendees, and don't be scared of the competition, because you could serve the new guy and all of its ingredients on a silver platter to our competition and they still won't build it. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, awesome. Hey, so first I'd like to apologize for the weird recordings and the adding pictures and it's been a while since I've done an interview, and had to re-download this software, and everything that I had before is gone and everything else is updated. So if you saw a quirky little ad, for some reason down here on the bottom left now instead of up, whatever. It doesn't matter. So I apologize for everybody watching, but we got the point across. Thank you. Was I supposed to hit the record button? Thank you guys, everybody, for watching. I think we're good. I think we got it. We definitely will see you guys at the Dumpster Expo in September. I'm looking forward to it. It's been awesome. So we'll see you guys in a few months.
I'm looking forward to driving
Josh.
the NASCAR.
Heck yeah, let's do it. Yep. I want to race.
Go buy tickets. Yeah. Go buy tickets right now for Expo. Just do it. You know you're going. So
all the links will be below for the new guy, for iCANS, for the Expo. We'll see you guys in a few months. Adios.
Later.